Hey guys, good evening. Good evening. I've missed you all so much. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you so much for being here tonight. It feels very nice and different to say tonight. Hi, love. True Gold Studios. Good to see you. Welcome, everyone. Michael Okori, I bind you. We're not staying here till 10 p.m. Good evening, Georgie Coley Smith. Yin Laifa. Good evening. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We are seeing. The mechanic. Good evening. Chinyere Biobasi. Good evening. Michael Curry, of course. Dipri Oduna. Hi. Good evening. Amina, Nancy Dehem, Mrs. Inspirer, and all those who were here in the morning. Thank you all for your love and your understanding. Today has been a day. Geraldine Chukwudi, good to see you all. Yes, people are coming in. It is my prayer and desire that people really did set their reminders and so they will come in. Good evening, Wira. Good to see you, Sisi. Ogechi to go. Good to see you. Today has been a day. So for those of you who have really been wondering what happened, no, nothing bad at all. It just was a logistical, what do I say? What was planned didn't quite pan out. As simple as that. We had to travel, had an early flight. Usually days like that, there's a guy at the airport who would have gotten my boarding pass for me and made sure that once I come in, I can sit somewhere. For some of you who know that we've had Wiser at airports a few times. It's nothing new, so it wasn't supposed to be anything. But the guy sent a message to say, oh, he was stuck at Yanopaja somewhere far. There was no way he was going to get to the airport before me. And so I needed to join the queue myself and all of that. So it was just not, I was like, maybe we should do it and I'll be on the queue trying to get boarding pass with all the shouting and all that in the airport. The airport was crazy, as in it was jam-packed. Oh my gosh, it was horrible. But we thank God for his mercy, his grace. So I've been traveling. Greetings from my village in Idungele Ewu of Edo State, where we're here to enjoy Christmas. So where are you? Are you going to travel? And where are you traveling to? Fantastic. Yesterday, as we explored Wiser, the wise king began to give us precepts. He said there were 30 precepts he was going to give us for living. 30 solid precepts. One of them was don't take away the boundary markers. Another one was don't forsake the poor and the downtrodden, right? Yeah, so we're going to continue now in chapter 23, Proverbs 23. And yesterday we talked about the first 5 precepts. We continue with our precepts. Yes, hallelujah. I know you're just down the road, so you will come. No traveling, that's good. Wherever you are, stay and enjoy yourself there. Spread the light wherever you are. So let's jump into Proverbs chapter 23. Oh, I was going to ask us, for those of us who are chatting right now, those of us who are chatting right now, you can't see the share button or the like button. You can't, right? To see the share or the like button, there's an X on your top right. Just under the screen where you see my face, there should be an X there. You would have to click on that X. It will close the chat. Then you will see share, you will see like. Because somebody reached out to me sometime to say that he or she, I wasn't sure who it was, he or she wasn't sure how to like the video. They keep looking for the like icon. So if this has made it clearer to you right now, people can just see the chat. Click that X to close the chat, then like. If you click on share right now, you can share the link to your WhatsApp status, for example, and just say, hey, we're live at Wiser, and come back here. Then to continue your chat, you will see live chats written there. Gosh, I wish I had a screenshot to show us all this. You'd see live chat, and then you can continue the chat. Just give me one moment. Let me try and take a screenshot of what I'm saying right now, so that I can show us. We are live. Just give me a moment, please. Okay, it will show differently because I'm using a laptop. Oh, anyway. It will show differently. It's not showing the same way many of us are seeing it on the phone. But the explanation is clear, right? It's not that hard to navigate after I'm talking to wiser people. Joyce, come on, what are you talking about? So let's move on. When you go out to dinner with an influential person, please, wisdom is giving us hardcore practical steps for real life and real living. Good evening, everyone who is coming in. Precept number 6: when you go out to dinner with an influential person, mind your manners. Don't gobble your food. Don't talk with your mouth full. And don't stuff yourself. Bridle your appetite. Put a knife to your throat. Don't overeat because the influential person might be monitoring you and watching you to see if you are the kind of person they want to be about. Don't gobble your food. Take oh, my phone is over there. Where's my other phone? I want to check the dictionary meaning of gobble. Yeah. So that I don't misfire. Oh, can you imagine? Okay, let me check it here. Gobble meaning hurriedly, noisily. Oh, it means don't eat with this food. It's sweet though. Hurriedly and noisily. Don't do that when you're sitting with influential people. And guess who the first influential person you know is? You. You. Yes, you. So, what you wouldn't do in front of the most influential person you know, don't do it in front of yourself and say, well, now only us just there. Who does it? When you're going to sit with an influential person, don't talk with your mouth full. So, ma, the other time I was eating, the food is if you must say something, finish what's in your mouth, perhaps even take a sip, wash it down, and then speak. You might say, please excuse me, or give me a moment, please. So, as the first influential person you know, let's just start behaving better with ourselves. Joyce, do you hear me? Behave, excuse me, behave better with yourself, Joyce, in the privacy or in the privacy of yourself. Bridle your appetite. Precept 7: don't wear yourself out trying to get rich. Restrain yourself. Riches disappear in the blink of an eye. Wealth sprouts wings and flies off into the wild blue yonder. What has wisdom been telling us to wear ourselves out doing instead? In gathering wisdom, seeking the right knowledge, and being a person with a good name. Let us rather wear ourselves out, if there is such a thing, trying to be good, trying to be people of integrity, trying to be people worthy of note, people worthy of emulation, not people who are just rich, so poor, all they have is money. That's not us. Don't wear yourself out trying to get rich. Wear yourself out rather trying to help people. Wear yourself out. I'm just turning this around into my words. If you must wear yourself out doing something, wear yourself out trying to make the world a better place. If this is me saying, if what you need is to be rich to influence, meaning that you're wearing yourself out is not just about being rich, it's about putting monies together for the sake of humanity, then that's a good thing. It was not about the riches, it was about the influence. So let's not just do it for money's sake and say, well, all I want in life is just to be rich. That's poor. That's really poor. Precept 8: don't accept a meal from a tightwad. Akanchi. Don't expect anything special. He'll be as stingy with you as he is with himself. He'll say, eat, drink, but won't mean a word of it. His miserly serving will turn your stomach when you realize the meal's a sham. So whether it's a he or a she. There are people who we know they are so stingy even to themselves. Wisdom is saying that when such people, if we already know them, offer us something, we shouldn't now feel we are the greatest loves of their lives and just take everything. We should be cautious. Now, wisdom is not telling us to be cynical. Wisdom is saying that person might just be saying it with me just to, as a, what, a facade, making it up, faking it. Don't be fooled. This Akanchi, so if they offer you the world, take a pinch and say thank you. So that one day they don't come back and say, oh, after all I did for you, after giving you all my food, let it be that if someone is giving, we also know that they're giving it out of the willingness of their heart, out of the fullness of their heart, not just trying to fulfill all righteousness. Else, it's a sham. Precept number 9. If you feel me, if you hear me, please just put 9 in the chat. 9. Don't bother talking sense to fools. Wow. They'll only poke fun at your words. Now, this is people who are confirmed fools. Thank you. I'm seeing your responses, guys. Thank you. Thank you, family. Oh. Don't bother talking sense to fools. I still really appreciate the dimension that John Obidi brought when he said, the re-emphasis of Proverbs, the poetic style of Proverbs, the repetition. Don't bother talking sense to fools. They'll only poke fun at your words. You know that this person will not take it from you. Stop trying to prove a point. Now, this is especially for people like me who think we can change the whole world. There's sometimes you realize that, Joyce, this person is really not going to change their mind. Save your energy for those who will take what you have to say and run with it, rather than spending all this energy. Sometimes it's pride. It's pride. We will say to ourselves things like, so you mean I can't convince this person? No, 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 no. I would die trying to convince them. Proverbs is saying, don't do that. They're incorrigible. That's the word. If you know this person is incorrigible, not able to change, Joyce, save your energy and take it to Wiser Nation, where 10 people will hear what you have to say and run with it. Don't cast your pearls before swines. If you have known that this person, regardless, and there are people like that who tell us, they would say something like, no matter what you say, Joyce, leave that story. My mind is made up. I know what I'm doing. Well, we'll still be trying to persuade them. No, receive sense. Put your hands on your head and say, call your name and say, receive sense. Joyce, receive sense. Receive sense. Principle 10. Principle 10. Don't stealthily move back the boundary lines or cheat orphans out of their property, for they have a powerful advocate who will go to bat for them. This is the second time. This is principle 10. In just 10 principles, he has repeated one. We read yesterday, I think it was principle 3 or 4, that said, don't stealthily move back the boundary lines. Now, principle 10, we've come again. Don't remove the boundary lines. Don't cheat people. Don't cheat people. Don't cheat people. Don't cheat orphans, especially out of their property, out of their rights, out of the capacity to do. Don't cheat them. Not because this person doesn't have somebody to speak up for him or her, then we treat them anyway. Joyce, receive sense. Don't cheat anyone out of their property, for they have a powerful advocate. Imagine when God goes to war, goes to bat for somebody against me or against you. That's never the place we want to find ourselves. No, I want God to be on my side saying, well done, good and faithful servant. That's what I desire with all my heart. So what do? Flip it. It means we would ensure that the boundary lines are untouched by even others, and we will fight for orphans. We'll make sure that what is theirs gets to them as much as we have power. in our hands. Principle 11, which is now our verse 12, says, give yourselves to disciplined instruction. Open your ears to what? To what? Tested knowledge. To tested knowledge. Open your ears to tested knowledge. Not just knowledge. You see, so for the rest of our lives, starting today, starting on the first day of Wiser, continuing the rest of our lives, including 2023, I will only give heed to disciplined instruction, meaning instruction that is curated, not random. Discipline, when you talk about something being a discipline, it is a track, a line, a lane, a quality, the quality of being focused. Disciplined instruction. Joyce, you will drink 2 liters of water a day. Not Joyce, you will drink more water. That's instruction, but not disciplined instruction. Disciplined instruction is, Joyce, you will drink 2 liters of water every day. Joyce, you will eat so and so portion. You would use this to measure your ration because of this. Joyce, you will greet everyone you go by. That's discipline specific instruction. And I will open my ears to tested knowledge. So I would always ask questions. This information you're giving me, where is it coming from? Who has tested it? Who wrote it? I don't want just random, because in this democratization of information, it has also given a terrible rise to fake news, even by those who don't mean to spread fake news. I don't know. Okay, I told some people, I don't know, I think I talked about it at one of the Talk with Joyce programs earlier this year, where David and I went to church sometime in the year on a certain Sunday morning, and the pastor was speaking and said that on this deathbed of Steve Jobs, they asked him something, and Steve Jobs said if he could live his life again, he would spend more time with, did he say he would spend more time with family, and he would do something. Whilst he was saying it, the pastor was saying this, I just turned to look at David, and he had this smirk on his face, like, did this guy research that thing to see if it was real? Maybe he just read it somewhere but didn't test it. So, well, whilst in church, right there, like the Berean, is it the Berean Christians that would test everything? We Googled it right there, and we saw that that is a hoax that has been circulating for years. Somebody started it somewhere to try to be inspirational or motivational, and people have picked it as truth. Steve Jobs never said that on his deathbed, at least not from any credible person that was around him when he died. If he had made such a statement sometime in his life, we haven't found it. It might be the Berean Christians, right? It might be, but that particular statement, and I've heard it different times, I've seen it on social media. Oh, Steve Jobs said on his deathbed, if there was something he would do differently when he was alive, he would have done this and done that. There was a long speech. So David just rolled his eyes and was like, he didn't check, he just didn't verify. Now, the reason I'm bringing this particular example up is the pastor, like me, right now, we have the opportunity to speak to so many people. And this is for every one of us who has the attention of people anytime. Please confirm everything as best you can. Confirm everything as best you can. I'm checking the meaning of conjecture. An opinion or conclusion formed on the basis of incomplete information. Kai, it is a conjecture. Now I finally know the meaning of conjecture. And guess what? I'm going to use that word again very soon. So it's a conjecture. An opinion formed based on partial knowledge. And anything based on incomplete information, partial knowledge, will turn out to be problematic. To form an opinion or supposition about something on the basis of incomplete information. Many conjectured that the jury could not agree. Conjectures about the newcomer are many and varied. Confirm. And when you hear something from somewhere, before you repeat it to someone or before you click on that forwarded as received, just check it. Just, it might look, just check again, ask, confirm. That sweetness that comes from being the first to break the news. Some of us are hooked on it. Let it be that my group people, it was first me they heard it from. So you just see, like this one forward, boom, not confirmed, not checked. Please, please interrogate, interrogate, ask questions. Wisdom is saying to us, open your ears to what? Tested knowledge. Not every knowledge, tested knowledge. Principle 12, that is verses 13 and 14, says, don't be afraid to correct your younger ones. A spanking won't kill them. Oh my gosh. A good spanking, in fact, might save them from something worse than death. Let me reduce this font just a little bit. Don't be afraid to correct your younger ones. Don't be afraid. One of the things that causes us to be afraid sometimes of correcting our younger ones is we don't want to be seen as the bad cop. We want to be seen as the ones who are loving, who are understanding. But it's sometimes that the younger ones, mentees, younger ones will step out of line. Correct in love. Sometimes if somebody needs to be spanked, wisdom is saying, in fact, a good spanking, not a bad spanking, not an abusive spanking. A good spanking, in fact, might save them from something worse than death. Sometimes we don't want to be insulted, and that's why we don't want to correct our younger ones. If I go put my mouth down and go ask me, say, see Joyce, which day she start this one? Joyce that I'm feeding, for I give her money for upkeep. She's the one now opening her mouth to talk to me. Let me not go and correct them now before they remind me that me, I don't have master's degree. Them, they have masters and PhD. Let me just face my front. Let me not go and correct them now before they will take me to community center. Go and tell mommy them that I'm the one who said. See reasons why sometimes we don't correct. And then sometimes we just also don't believe in spanking. And we think, it's nice and new and fresh, depending on what you're calling a spanking, right? A spanking might actually really be using a paddle, according to David Burrows and Miles Monroe in the book Kingdom Parenting. That was one of the first books I read on, not one of the first, yeah, one of the first books I read on parenting. Kingdom Parenting by David Burrows and Miles Monroe. He said the way to flog, if you really want to flog, is to have a paddle, not just any kind of random cane that when you flog it will give marks and tear skin. No, a paddle. There was no picture, but I think I googled it then to see what a paddle might look like. A paddle for flogging. It almost looked like eba stick, almost like eba stick, yeah, and like a real paddle. So it's panned out wood, and so you use it to strike the child, not to flog all over. Then he said, before you use a paddle on a child, you have a conversation and an agreement that if you do, these are the consequences. If you do this, you get 4 strokes of the paddle, you will get this. And then you must paddle, I think said paddle only on the butt, not even on the hands and something. There were guidelines. I obeyed for some time until I didn't always obey, but I obeyed for some time. So it's a good spanking. A good spanking that is done in love, that is done with tested knowledge, because sometimes we correct the younger ones or the children with untested knowledge. What do I mean? The child is coming back from school, or your younger one is coming back from school. They're in SS2, SS3, or university, and on coming back, their bus breaks down, and while standing by the side of the road, different cars are going by, and a car stops by and says, "Hey," a good Samaritan for real stops by and say, "Hey, I'm going in this direction. How many of us are going? Come in. I can drop you all off at the next junction." And that junction is close to home. So that child or younger one jumps into that vehicle with other people and gets dropped off at the junction. And the child is sharing their testimony with you, saying, our bus broke down. Oh, for those of us who went to University of Port Harcourt, our bus broke down at Obogoro or Ozoba Junction while we're trying to come back to Rumokuta. And we just saw this angel who stopped and she offered us a ride, and we joined her. And just before Rumokuta, she dropped us off. And you will now turn and say, "What? You entered the car of a stranger in 2022? You don't know there are kidnappers everywhere? What rubbish! Haven't I been teaching you something? Is it because we're the poorest people in this life? Is it because I don't have money to buy a car? You jump into the car of any stranger?" That's untested knowledge. Tested knowledge is rather, "Oh, I'm grateful to God that you got help. Just for safety's sake, before you enter the car of anybody that is not a marked taxi, try and take a look at the person's plate number, if possible. You might, just memorize it and send me a text that this is the car you are in. You're in a Toyota this with this kind of plate number, just for these are safety measures, because we hear all sorts of bad things, but we also don't want to miss the fact that there are still good people who will offer help. So we put our safety measures so that we're not cynical, we're just safety conscious. Before you enter, be conscious enough to look at the plates, the license plates. Possibly note it. As soon as you get in, send me a WhatsApp message. Also, share your live location with me on WhatsApp, right? So that I can see where you are. Possibly take note of anything else. And even if you can do as if you're trying to take a photo of yourself or something, maybe you can get a photo of the person who is driving and send to me, and say, "I'll explain when I get home," or something. It doesn't have to be to me. You can send it to one of your besties or to someone, just so that it's a safety measure. We are not saying that there are no more good people. We just want to be cautious. Can we say that? I think that's some good spanking. That's some sort of spanking, but good one. Or that's some sort of appreciation with caution, with tested knowledge, just not careless talk with lots of fear, as if we don't know who we serve. Principle 13, which is verses 15 and 16. "Dear child, if you become wise, I'll be one happy parent. My heart will dance and sing to the tuneful truth you speak." Every parent will be glad when their child or children are wise. So imagine God's joy when we are wise. When we increase in wisdom, He will be rejoicing. He will rejoice with us. He will dance over us with singing to the tuneful truth that we will speak. God wants us to be wise. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Principle 14. Yes, thank you. Bolt does have that ability. You can share details of your ride with a friend just so that they know where you are. Good practice, very good practice. I like to share my live location when I'm traveling or when I'm going somewhere to here. I have a number of people I can share it with. I'm sure sometimes my immediate younger brother is surprised when he just sees me share live location with him, and I'm like, "I'm going from here to here. I just wanted you to know where exactly I am." Sent to a few other people, and it's not always the same set of people. Just so somebody knows. Don't for a minute. Principle 14. Don't for a minute envy careless rebels, people we think can get away with anything. Rather, soak yourself in the fear of God. That's where your future lies as a wise person. Then you won't be left with an armload of nothing, because careless rebels are left with armloads of nothing at the end of the day. That's not us. That's not us. We will not envy them. We will not copy them. Rather, we will stick with the straight and narrow of being diligent, prudent students of wisdom. Please, I am careful to use the word students of wisdom, not followers of wisdom. Why? Students ask questions. Students interrogate. Students interact. Followers don't always. Sometimes followers interact. Many times followers just follow. I don't want us to be followers. Please don't follow me, Joyce Daniels. Don't follow anyone. I'm not talking about your Instagram or your LinkedIn. I want us to be students. Be a student. Ask, dig, check. Don't just follow. Follow to be clear, not follow with laziness. Oh, yes, like Imumu. No, 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 no. Be a student, not just a follower. Whatever it is you follow God's word. Be a student of the word. I am amazed, appalled, heartbroken sometimes when I hear some people just say, oh, this is what my mentor said, coach this said that, pastor this said this. And I said, which one did you study for yourself to discover? There is nobody that is really the custodian of all truth. None alive, none dead either. You see someone like Aristotle? No, Augustine. Um, Augustine. Augustine was a bishop who was a student of Socrates and also a critic of Socrates. He wrote the book, I think The Walled City or something. He was a prominent bishop in the Catholic Church. He was based in one of those Northern African countries. I think it was Algeria. I read a few things. I hope it's Augustine. Is that Augustine? It's a teen name, Tine. I think it's Augustine. I loved when I read that he was a student of Socrates, also a critic, because as much as he admired and revered Socrates and the things Socrates taught, he also questioned some to say, I'm not sure this is quite right because this and that and that and that and that. You know, some of us will be like, no, 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 no. My mama, anything my mama says is right. Sometimes your mama is just spewing untested knowledge. You need to check. So don't say, I heard it from Joyce Daniels. Joyce Daniels said that there are 39 states in Nigeria, so there must be 39. Please, Google is your friend. Check. Show yourself approved by studying for yourself. Don't get trapped in, oh, Jimmy Tewe said this. Oh, Jimmy Tewe said, Georgie Coley Spieth said that. Did you hear when Coach Ella came? The way she said it, bro. Then, John Obidi, the greatest that ever lived, when he said this, my papa. If my papa tells you this one, my papa told me that anybody who does wrong to me, the wrath of God will fall upon them. Is that what God said? Did you check? Or that's how your papa felt on that certain day? Be careful what your papa, your mama, your brother, your sister, your coach, and your mentor, your role model. Be careful to check, double check, recheck. Why? Because that's where our future lies, in the fear of God. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. We had read that before, right? It's the fear of God that makes us gather the right knowledge, that helps us apply to become wisdom. The fear of God is for diligent students. You cannot say you fear God and you don't clarify information. It's not possible. Because, yes, mystical city of God, that's it. Thank you, by Saint Augustine of Hippo. That's him. That's him. Because we fear God, we will check and recheck. Don't mistake fearing God for foolishness and say, okay, well, that's what they said. So I fear God, therefore I check with prudence and diligence, not just with carelessness. I won't envy those who are careless rebels. I will soak myself in the fear of God. That's where my future lies. Then I won't be left with an armload of nothing. I would have so much to load myself with. It's okay to argue with parents and siblings. I would say, of course, use it's syntax. Using the word argue in context, arguments usually are the ones where there is a lot of emotions and there might be anger and all. uh Conversations of laying out evidence are just that, conversations. The evidence I see shows me this topic, this research I read shows me this, that, and the other, right? Principle 15. Oh, listen, dear child, become wise, dear Joyce. Become wise. Point your life in the right direction, dear Joyce. Don't drink too much wine and get drunk, dear Joyce. Don't eat too much food this Christmas and get fat, dear Joyce. Drunks and gluttons will end up on Skid Row in a stupor, dressed in rags. People who are always eating and drinking and not planning or caring for tomorrow will be dressed in rags in drunken or gluttonous stupor. They are down and out. They will beg for food after they have eaten and drank so much. They will be so broke, they will need to beg to be replenished. Wow. Don't eat too much. Don't drink too much. Of any good thing that is done in excess, get wahala. So, especially in this season of festivities, where some of us are going to be inundated with events, you're going to be at one person's house, different people have invited us. There's one love feast here, there's one that's there, there's this, and there's food everywhere. Don't say, I beg, something must kill a man. If you must eat at every event to show respect, then we would what? Put a knife to the throat. Remember, you are the most influential person you know right now, and do what we call portion control. So I know we have 3 places to stop by on the 23rd, on the 25th, 26th, on the 1st, on the 2nd. We have like 4 parties. So what we'll do is, wherever we go, okay, at the first place, I would take pepper soup. At the second place, I would have a glass of champagne or something, whatever it is. At the third place, I would have a plate of small chops. Then at the fourth place, if there's cake, I'll just have a slice. You've eaten something everywhere, small, 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 small. All of those things you might have eaten at one event, right? Please don't come and do something must kill a man. And at the first place, you eat everything. Second place, you eat something must kill a woman. Third place, you eat everything. Get home. Fourth place, I say, God, your mercy is sufficient for me. Don't do that. Don't do that with our time. Don't do that with our energies. Don't 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 binge TV to the point where we are not able to take care of ourselves to make proper decisions. And I'm just spreading my tentacles, because for some people, food and drink literally is not the issue. It's not wine, it's not food, it's gist, or it's TV, it's something, it could be. So all of us, Joyce, all of us, just take it easy. Buy wisdom, education, insight. Buy. 16 principle number 16 of the 30 principles that wisdom said he or she is sharing with us. Listen with respect to the father who raised you. And when your mother grows old, don't neglect her. Buy truth. Don't sell it for love or money. Don't lose your sense because of love or money. Buy wisdom. Buy education. Buy insight. Parents rejoice when their children turn out well. Wise children become proud parents. So make your father happy. Make your mother proud. Make your father happy. Make your mother proud. All of us who still have parents that are alive and well, biological parents, spiritual parents, role model parents, do it also for them. Wisdom is saying that don't just get it for yourself alone. Do it also for the sake of your parents or your ancestors, as it were, to bring dignity to their name, to bring honor to them. Listen with respect, even when you don't agree. When your mother grows old, remember her. Remember her. Buy truth, buy wisdom, buy education, buy insight. He didn't say borrow, he didn't say steal, he didn't say um what are the other words? He said buy. It means it will cost you something. Whether it will cost you energy, time, attention, or money, then it costs you something. So it's okay to pay the price for the wisdom and insight that would make us proud or make our parents proud of us. Make us also become proud parents. This is our mission. Principle 17. Dear child, I want your full attention. Please do what I show you. How many attention? How many attention? Full attention. Pay close attention and do what I show you. A prostitute is a bottomless pit. Full stop. A loose woman can get you in deep trouble fast. She'll take you for all you've got. She's worse than a pack of thieves. So I was speaking with a friend of mine some years ago, and he was talking about, as it were, a loose woman in the organization where he first worked. She was his boss, and she cornered him. Cornered him. And initially, he said he didn't mind. He liked the attention he was getting from her, began to date her. She was married and they were having a full-blown affair. And he said he thought he was getting perks initially out of everybody knowing that him and Madame had something to do. And it could be flipped. It could be the man and the girl, right? But after a while, he realized that he was stuck at a point. People weren't according him growth beyond a certain level. It was like, anything, I think you say you will pass here. Let's see whether because you're Madame's boyfriend, you will pass here. And he realized that he had stayed there for years. He couldn't grow even after she had retired or something and left. He was stuck. He said he realized he was actually stuck. He was where? In a bottomless pit. He was in trouble. He couldn't grow. There was no respect. There was no honor. Even what he was working so hard for with his skills, and meanwhile, he's very skilled at his work. Guess what? People could not see his skill anymore. All they could see was that this is Madame's boyfriend. So you think you will get it just because you're Madame's boyfriend. It was like, but look at my work. I did it. Ah, come on, get out. She's worse than a pack of thieves. She'll destroy you. He'll destroy you. She'll take you for all you've got. This is what wisdom is saying to us in Principle 17. Please do what I show you. When you see her coming, do what? Take off. Principle 18. Who are the people who are always crying the blues? Who do you know? I'm not talking about Chelsea fans, please hold on. Who do you know who reeks of self-pity? It happened to me. Who keeps getting beaten up for no reason at all? whose eyes are blurry and bloodshot. I'll tell you who. It's those who spend the night with a bottle, for whom drinking is serious business. If they never use sapele water wash face, they never start. Don't judge wine by its label or its bouquet or its full-bodied flavor. Judge it rather by the hangover it leaves you with. Say this drink sweet, this drink sweet. Waiting it go do you by morning. The splitting headache, the queasy stomach. Do you really prefer seeing double to seeing straight? With your speech all slurred, reeling, and seasick, drunk as a sailor? They hit me, you say, but your day she didn't enter. They beat me, but I didn't even feel anything. Why? I was too drunk. I was so drunk I couldn't feel the pain of failing my exam. I was so drunk I couldn't feel the pain of the heartbreak that my spouse gave me. We are hiding in the bottle. I was so drunk I didn't feel the pain of the person I loved that died. I got lost in the bottle. This is what some of us say in justifying our drunkenness. And when I'm sober enough to manage it, what will I say? I beg, give me another drink, Joe. May we drink. I beg, make we drink. Something must what? Kill a foolish man. Wisdom is just saying, be cautious. If you must drink, don't drink to stupor where you have double vision. In fact, this is the Message translation. Yes, MSG. When you drink and your eye has started doing you somewhere, stop. Don't say, me, I be jog girl, a front girl like me. Hey, they never know me, say my head strong. People, they drink one cup, their head, they shake. Me, I go take 2 bottles, nothing happen, I still there. No, be say, say, na is zone where I be. No, say, we they use this thing, wash mouth. And then we're so drunk, as in literally, really being drunk. I'm not even talking about the figurative sense of being drunk with things that we have no business being drunk with. It's a festive season. Wisdom is asking us to be cautious. It's a serious life. When we say sometimes you only live once, I question that and I say I don't live once. I live every day. I live every single day. I live every day. I want every day to count. I don't want to miss a day. God knows my heart desire. I don't want to miss a day. I don't want to have that day that I was away from the place God had placed me. I want to be here every day. I want to be here. I've fallen off that place many times. I've fallen off that place many times. But I always say, Lord, lead me right back to the path. Lead me right back to the place you want me to be so that I wouldn't miss a chunk of my life and then end up with what? Empty hands. I live every day and I want to live full every day. So I think that's the greatest takeaway for us today, that every day should be full of doing what is good and right, what is diligent, what is in service to humanity and to God, what is beneficial to us as much as it is beneficial to others. If it's only beneficial to us and not to others, then there's something wrong with that, right? If it's also beneficial to others and not to us, there might be something wrong with that as well. But if it's beneficial to them, also beneficial to me, to us, then I think that's the great balance we're looking for, to live a full life. 2023 is the year of a full life. Is that year of a full life where I am a student, I would ask and interrogate and get the juice out of it, and I will not just be a follower. 2023 2022 is the last year I would be just a follower. This is the last year of my life where I would just be a follower. This is 2023 marks the beginning of my living, breathing, daily studentship, where I seek tested knowledge, curated information to be full of the knowledge and wisdom that God has for us. I love you and I wish you God's best. This is the bottom of my third 75 CL today. No, I've had some jars in between. Yay, I've done my ration for today. Oh no, I didn't drink the whole bottle. I'm not done. I still need to, some more water is coming. I still have a little more to go, I think. But it doesn't matter. The most important thing is I am following curated, disciplined instructions. That's what I want to do. Disciplined instructions. That's the way I want to live. Cheers. Cheers to more. Cheers to being more. By the grace of God Almighty. And the people of God say amen. It's a great day, this 23rd of December. Thank you for coming tonight. We'll see you tomorrow bright and early at 6 a.m. Refreshed by the grace of God, ready once again to be light. I would light others, ready to be wiser than we are today. Not just because of what we know, but also because of what we do and who we are. That we will not just be doers, we will not just be hearers, we'll be doers, and not only doers, we will be. You know, it is possible for you to do something that is not you. You hear some people say things like, you know, I I I ate about today, but you know, that's not really me. That's not really me. Me on a good day, I will not eat eba. So you did eat the eba, but that doesn't make you an eba eater. Are you with me? We don't want to do wise things. We want to be wise people. We don't just want random actions of wisdom. We want a lifestyle every day of wisdom. We've said enough. Mwah! Love you. Have a wonderful night. Yes, like the video and share the link to your WhatsApp status and say something, something, something here is for you. Get in there, watch it with us. Share the link for tomorrow when it comes out, and let's finish strong together. Merry Christmas in advance. And we'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Bye for now.